Welcome to this week's Beauty Business Mindset podcast. This is Celeste, and today we're going to be talking about online courses, continuing education. Are you overwhelming yourself with information and not taking enough inspired action? So this podcast is inspired by my past obsession and overdoing of wanting to know the why, and more information. And I know I'm not alone in this. Maybe you have signed up for a course or you just keep taking education nonstop. And I always say, like, we're always forever a student, but there's also this balance or, also important key element to your success, which is the importance of implementation, the importance of taking action. What I say, take imperfect action. So let's get started. So I signed up for this, for different courses, throughout the years. And one of the biggest lessons I learned was last year, 2020, when we were really during shutdowns in California. I wasn't able to really work, and it was before my health issue. And I was taking all these courses because I had all this free time and I wasn't sleeping. I was really just wanted to get it all done, right? Check all the boxes. And I wasn't really listening. I was just hearing information. I wasn't listening and implementing as I should have. So I started this year to retake one of the courses, and this is my second time around, which is awesome. It is it's a 4-figure investment, it's a couple $1,000 investment, but I'm able to retake it again without having to pay any additional fees. And this time being able to listen, pause, and actually implement or take action has made the biggest difference in the world. I feel like I'm taking this course for the first time, even though I finished all of it last year. So that's what inspired this podcast, because I know so many of us right now with the online space and YouTube and podcasts and Instagram and Facebook, there's Clubhouse, there's all this information, you guys, everywhere. You can Google anything. We're saturated with information. But my question to you is, are you only listening and taking in information, or are you actually taking action and doing something with it? And I wanted to ask you this because there's something real valuable I learned from this lesson from last year, is that even though I didn't really focus on launching a whole bunch of online products, I did launch, 2 different products last year online to sell different courses. I really took all that information to implement changes in my business. I really automated a lot of my business last year just from learning online courses and how to actually, create a program, get people into it. It really taught me a stronger foundation into customer service. And I'm just sharing this because I think it's much more important that we actually do something with the information, that we actually take action, that we just keep with the information overload. And I'm going to release a little secret to you. So many of you guys know that hair coloring was not my strongest point. Now I can do that stuff in my sleep. But I struggled, you guys. It was huge, a huge undertaking for me. It did not come naturally for me. The color wheel, how color worked, it was how hair worked. It was a nightmare. Okay, I was terrified and I sucked. So I really took a lot of information. I took a lot of classes. I took updo classes. I took every haircutting classes, everything you can think of. Keratin, straightening, edit, extensions, everything, because I wanted to really understand it comprehensively. But I took so much information, and maybe this has happened to you before. We take all these classes and you're learning all this stuff, and then you start losing your confidence. There's a fine line between getting help or assistance in a subject and doing something with it than just overwhelming yourself with all this information and feeling like you're not even ready or you're not even capable of doing what you thought you could. And this really made me get a lot in my head. And ever since I had to shut down my salon back in January and, going to the doctor and all my health issues, I usually get to do somebody's hair once a month. And being able to do that has made me more confident. I know what to do. I don't overthink. And I hope that this podcast and this episode really helps you to please don't stop yourself. Quit overthinking. Quit waiting till it's perfect. Quit waiting till you know all the information and all the whys. And we think in this life we're prepared for everything, and we really are not. No matter, the beauty of life is that the past is gone. It's just a memory. Today is the present, and the future is, we can have a roadmap to it, but it's not a for sure thing. Things can change, health or whatever, life just happens, and different circumstances can take you to different things. But, the beauty of it is that it's not set in stone. So if you have taken a course, make sure that before you invest in another one, number one, make sure that you actually finish the course. Or more than that, you're actually listening, not just hearing information and checking off the boxes, but that you're actually listening or taking in notes or, watching the video, however form that you learn, that you're actually taking that information and implementing it in your business so you can see the return on investment. Because one of the biggest things with all these courses and programs and information is it doesn't help us if we do nothing with it. And I think it's a big disservice, especially for you, if you're investing all your money, into education, that you actually take that imperfect action. Number two, we will forever be a student. We all start from zero. I think, in my humble opinion, and you can disagree with me on this, that practice is the best teacher. Being able to make mistakes, being able to actually get in there and doing the thing is going to be the best teacher for you. No matter how many classes or things, information I get, my biggest teacher has been actually getting in there with my hands and, like getting dirty, making mistakes and learning how to fix them. All that has given me the tools and arsenal to build my skills over time. And so it can do so for you. I think it's so much more important that we even just try to do the thing more than we stop ourselves. Because how many times do we sabotage ourselves thinking, oh, well, I'm not good enough, or I don't know enough, or, it has to be done perfectly. Like, I think it's so important that we actually take that imperfect action. Remember, we'll start from zero, and our mistakes are going to be setting stones for our success. And number three, give yourself the chance to just try. One of the best things that, and I hope it helps you, is that I have done is anytime I take a course or I learn a new skill, I always try and do it. Even if I'm not strong at it, I'll do a model. I would grab my mannequin head. I would do the thing. For online courses, like last year, that was one of the biggest, awesome lessons was I actually took this amazing program from, shout out to Amy Porterfield, Digital Course Academy. And I loved how there was videos that showed the tech side of things. Because you guys, I went to school in the 2000s, okay, where the Macs looked like those old MTVs. You know what I'm saying? The one with the little knob. And all I got was a lesson on Word for one semester and a lesson on Excel for one semester, okay? We did not have no Facebook at that time. I know, we're way back then, you guys. We had MySpace, okay? That's how back I go from, okay? I'm about to be 36 years old. Why am I sharing you this? Because everything I know how to do my own landing pages. I know how to do email setups. I know how to do a website from scratch. I know how to do so many things. It did not come easily to me. So being able, for example, like I was talking about with Amy's course about the text setup, just watching the videos and being able to have step by step and being able to actually take that information and do it imperfectly. I messed up. Sometimes I have to watch a video twice because I skip a step. It really helped me to get the experience and knowledge. So next time when I try to do it by myself, I kind of knew how to navigate it until I got really comfortable. So I'm just letting you know this because it's so important that we take that action. If we don't take action with the information we get, if we don't take action with the courses that we buy, even with the group coaching, like I love group coaching, is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world, because you get to hear and listen from other people's mistakes. You don't feel alone, or other people's struggles as well, because we make struggles. I have struggles. I make mistakes. I just said a word that didn't come out right, but it's okay. We're still doing this podcast. And that's the thing, is that with all the information and knowledge that we acquire and that we invest in, that we're also taking that imperfect action and utilizing that information, not just letting it sit there and look pretty, or overwhelm ourselves with overload of information, overload of courses. I think it's really important more that we start taking action in things that need to change. I know, like for me, even like on my platform last week, I did a post about, price increases, and that was the previous podcasts as well. But I just think it's so important also, as I am doing through coaching and I'm being coached as well, that I share that knowledge with you guys. I took that action of doing the podcast, even though it wasn't in a perfect setting. I was driving. I just did the thing. And sometimes I think it's more important that we just do the thing than we plan it and over strategize for things. Because like one of the biggest lessons that I've learned this past month, as I'm going into launch mode next month, launching my new product, my new business, with the conversion of my old mobile camper salon into a new thing, which I cannot wait to share literally with other people, because people are going to be able to rent it now for other things. It's going to be a mobile event lounge. So there, I told you guys. And I'm releasing my first CBD, product, cosmetic, and it's just like lots of things. So I went on with a collaboration with a lash artist, multicultural business branding book. And it's just like all these beautiful things coming up. There's something really big coming up as well. That's coming up in September. And why am I sharing all this? Because you guys, I'm not doing it perfect. I am not. I am going back to basics to just get the damn thing done. Last year, I stopped myself so much because being new, in the online space last year, I was like, oh my gosh, it has to be perfect and it has to look beautiful and, it has to be this and that. And I kept myself from doing so many darn things last year because I wanted it to be perfect. And I am here and sharing my voice and my experiences in this podcast, not because I like to hear myself speak, but because I want to help you through my mistakes, through my whoopsies, and like, oh shit, I fucked up. I want you guys to skip that part. I want you guys to be able to succeed. I want you to be able to do the things the smart way, not the hard way. And that was one of the biggest lessons for me. Last year, I really stopped myself because I wanted everything to be perfect and pretty and curated. And I have really learned that as important as it is that, yes, we always remain a student, we learn information, there's a fine line between going with information overload and having all this knowledge and we do nothing with it, versus getting enough information to just take the action and do it imperfectly. Over time, we learn more. Over time, we're able to share our knowledge like I am today. And over time, all those, action taking gets us more comfortable to step out of our comfort zone. And I think the more that we try to grow, the more that we try to strive and go after a dream, or maybe you have this like amazing idea, but people think it's crazy. Do you know how many times people have told me it's crazy? Some of the best things in my career and in my life and in business have been out of the whim, have been those moments when, you know what I mean? When you get that itch, you're like, you know what? I want to do this and F it. I'm just going to do it and it's going to work out. Have been some of the best outcomes for me. And I know that can be for you too. So I really hope that, with all this right now going on, with all this information overload all over the internet, is not only on the internet, but the radio, podcast, every single social media channel, everything that we look for, that you don't forget the power of you, of the power that you have based on all your experience of life, or your experience in business, or your experience in customer service. And I really truly do believe that we all have this intuitive or this gut feeling that guides us if we allow it to. And we're not here in this world, which has been, something that I have struggled with, that has taken me a lot of courage. And I'm being really vulnerable right now here, to be able to step out of my comfort zone and know that I have nothing to prove to anybody but myself. To know that I'm allowed to try and fail. I'm allowed to try and not like it anymore, and switch out of it. And so are you. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to try and mess up. You're allowed to try and no longer like it. We're all allowed to do so. And the more we get comfortable in being uncomfortable and just putting out there what feels right at the moment, I think the more that we can live a more aligned life based on what happiness and success means to us or to you. And also in business, the more you can flourish, because like if you think with the beauty of, I said, this whole COVID mayhem and craziness has been that so many people have launched businesses based on passions. I see people bedazzling bottles, bedazzling different items, or like tumblers, and making successful businesses out of that. People are following their passions and they're sharing that passions, and people that have similar interests are investing in their business, and they're able to quit their regular 9 to 5 or quit whatever job they no longer love to follow whatever little passion they have. And that's the beauty of this life. That's the beauty of being in business for yourself or for ourselves, is that we get to choose the direction that we want to go. So that is it for today. So much love. Thank you for listening to my podcast, and I'll see you here next week. Bye, love.